Yeah. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, as I'm sure you all realize, we're a little behind. So I'm going to compress what I had to say so we have time for our slideshow. On this glorious Radhastami Day, the 6th of September, 2019 in San Diego, we're going to be presenting a few essential points about Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna. We need to, otherwise he has to go out. Hare Krishna, sorry. Cell phones, please, off or silent, or throw them outside, whatever. So, whenever Radhastami rolls around, and the rare times I'm asked to say something, I like to turn to chapter 4 of the Adi Leela of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is actually the zenith of all of the writings in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. It presents Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life in wonderful poetry by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, and as well it gives the most thorough and erudite description of the philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And it tells us all the esoteric reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance, and describes everything that we need to know to really rise up to the highest platform of devotional service. So before I begin, I'll offer my obeisance to my Guru Dev. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmidatam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisance unto him and all members of Shri Parampara. So, understanding Lord Chaitanya's tattva, who he is, why Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya, is really possible only when we know something about Srimati Radharani. So in this Adi Leela, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is explaining various aspects of Lord Chaitanya. Then he also talks about Lord Nityananda, Advaita, the Pancha Tattva, the five personalities who we glorify before we chant Hare Krishna. And in this fourth chapter, he's describing the essential nature of two verses that appeared at the beginning. And I'll just try to keep things going. The first verse is Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikati Ladani Shakti Rasmad Ekatmana Vabibu Paradeha Bedam Katauta Chaitanyakam Prakramodana Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhava Jujitsavalitandami Krishna Swarupam. So what this verse describes, I think written by Swarup Damodar, I believe, Lord Chaitanya's intimate associate. The translation is, the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. So this describes the very mysterious and esoteric truth that Lord Chaitanya is actually Krishna, but he's Krishna in the mood of Radharani. He's really a combination of two. And a few of his great and most intimate devotees could see that, such as Ramananda Roy. He actually revealed himself as Radha Krishna. But the question of why he did so, he appeared that way, is answered in the next verse. I'll spare you the Sanskrit. And this is really Krishnadas Kaviraj. He looks into the internal mind of Krishna in the spiritual world. And he describes three reasons, three desires that Lord Krishna had that he couldn't fulfill even in Goloka Vrindavan. And here they are: desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness or bliss she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love. The Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the moon of Srimati Shachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. When the demons and demigods churned the ocean of milk, one of the things that came out was the moon. So, in describing and exploring these verses, he explains very logically that we have to know who is Radha and who is Krishna. And so this chapter 4 deals with that very systematically. So I'll skip to the essential first verse that I wanted to speak about, and this is text 59, where he described Radhika Hayena Krishnera Pranaya Vikar. Pranaya Vikar is the key. Srimati Radharani is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy called Ladhini. Now what that means is that Srimati Radharani is love of God personified. This prema personified. She's non-different from Krishna. She's one of Krishna's energies, just as we are. But she is a personified pleasure potency of Krishna. That means that what is Krishna doing in the spiritual world? What motivates him to do anything? The experience, the bliss of loving exchange with his devotees. This is what Krishna is all about. He comes here also to save us, because we're the ones who need reformation. We're not absorbed in our natural love of God, the prema. We've instead directed our energy, our attention toward the external energy, and we're trying to love and interact with things in this world to gain pleasure. But we're constantly frustrated, life after life. Human life is a chance to understand these things and to redirect our attention and our senses and our mind and everything back toward Krishna to regain that original state of pure love for Krishna. So Srimati Radharani personifies the perfection of that. And in fact, one of the quotes here that I picked out, that I'll have to compress everything, is that whatever service we do for Krishna, and this is what Bhakti Yoga is all about, is learning how to serve Krishna, even very in your every part of your activities, with your mind, your body, your words, senses, everything. Beginning with chanting of his name. This is the great blessing of the age Lord Chaitanya came to give. This is the external reason. He came to give love of God to the chanting of the holy name, to everyone. And Rupa Goswami, his prime follower, he composed this verse, famous verse we used to sing on Sankirtan, on Harinam. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trijay Namaha. I offer my obeisances unto the most munificent avatar of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is Krishna himself, who gives pure love for Krishna freely. The most treasured jewel, beyond mukti, beyond siddhis, beyond any sense gratification you can imagine, eternal life. No, the most valuable thing is prema. Prema Pamato Mahan. This is one of Lord Chaitanya's phrases. The chief goal of life, human life, is to regain this great treasure of prema. And Srimati Radharani personifies that. Now, in this chapter, a very important part of it, he distinguishes lust and love. He said, Krishnadas Kaviraj, Srimati Radharani's personification of love. So how does that differ from ordinary loving affairs in this world, which are saturated with lust? So he has a verse, which I'll spare the Sanskrit, in Bengali. It says, desire to satisfy one's own senses is lust. Desire to satisfy Krishna's senses is prema, or pure love. So kama, or lust, or harekrishna. Don't go out. Please don't go out. Uh-oh. He has a mind of his own. Prabhupada said, when we're leaving the spiritual world, Krishna, he asked us, don't go, please don't go. And we decided to go, just like he wanted to go out. So, Srimati Radharani personifies that love. What is the distinction? Love is characterized by one's ardent desire to please the beloved. Just think of the closest thing Prabhupada said in this life, and in this world, is a mother's love for the child. A little child that doesn't know anything, it just has a bunch of needs, but the mother's love is unconditional, you see? How can I make the child more comfortable? I feed the child, protect the child, educate, Hare Krishna. And, see? That's his concern. Perfect example. So the whole thing is selfless. The mother will even sacrifice life for the child. The interest is in the child. What does he want? Now, why is it imperfect? Because the child grows up, things change, goes away. It doesn't last like that way. But you can see in our dealings, there's this element of love. We want to please the beloved and so forth. But there's also that selfish element to it. And that's why in the material world we can never really reproduce that completely selfless love. But that's what pure love for Krishna is, and Srimati Radharani personifies that. And in her many, many pastimes, or let me just refer to the end of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's something called Shikshashtaka, most of you have heard about. Lord Chaitanya's essential teachings in 8 verses, and centered on the chanting of the holy name. The first verse describes the 7 benefits and 7 metaphors and so forth. And you can actually follow the progression of bhakti through these 8 verses. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has done that in his Bhajana Rahasya, and it's very rich in philosophy. The last verse is spoken by Radharani. Lord Chaitanya speaks the verse completely in the mood of Radharani. And the verse goes like this: Ashlishya va paradatang panashtumam adarshanan marmahatang karotava yata ratavavadhatu lampato mat prananatas tusaheva naparaha. I'll give you my little poetic rendition. Let Madhava embrace this maid who's fallen at his feet, or let him trample me, or my most ardent hopes defeat, by never giving me a chance to see him anywhere, thus shattering my heart and plunging me into despair. You see, he is a restless libertine and not a saint. So let him act in any way he likes without restraint. Yet though his cruel and crooked ways may cause me constant woe, Krishna is the only Lord my heart shall ever know. Now, following this verse, Lord Chaitanya gives an explanation. And in that, I'm not going to go through that whole thing, it's quite lengthy. But the essence of it is that this quality of Srimati Radharani simply focusing on Krishna's pleasure. And she says something that an ordinary lover will never say, and that is, if someone else wants to be with Krishna, some other gopi, and Krishna wants to be with her, I'll go and take her hand and bring her to Krishna for his pleasure, because my focus is simply on his pleasure. This is pure bhakti, is thinking first of what is Krishna's pleasure. And from Bhagavad Gita, as soon as the Bhagavad Gita starts speaking about the need for sacrifice, the need for not becoming attached to the fruits of our labor, and giving it over for Krishna, this is how we reform or transform our egoistic, self-aggrandizing spirit into bhakti, and ultimately into pure bhakti or pure love for Krishna, which is the goal of this Krishna consciousness movement, nothing less. So Srimati Radharani personifies that, and we can pray to her. In fact, one of the things that Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport here is that every service that we do is mediated by Srimati Radharani. That she is taking our service, as imperfect as it may be, and presenting it to Krishna. See, there's some sincerity here, please accept. You see? So she's not different from Krishna. She's not a jiva. She's this pure loving energy. And all of the different ways in which she dresses herself, and she conspires with her associates to meet Krishna or to embarrass Krishna, this is all part of the play, the loving play that gives Krishna pleasure in the spiritual world. It's very esoteric and very advanced. And indeed, Srila Prabhupada explained that if we're serious about advancing in devotional service, we should begin with Bhagavad Gita and try to take in our hearts the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita. And then when we're familiar with the Bhagavad Gita and following, we should study the Srimad Bhagavatam. You know, every day we should study, but we make a serious study. And this is the postgraduate book, this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you have the basic schooling in the taking you up through 4 years of college, even in Bhagavad Gita. Through the 12th grade. And then in high school, you study the Srimad Bhagavatam. Postgraduate, PhD, you study, Srila Prabhupada gave us this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there's so much that could be said about Srimati Radharani. She's an ocean of mercy. This is very important. We can pray to her. We can pray to her to please help us advance in devotional service. And when we talk about serving the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, it means that we want to become more sincere in serving Krishna selflessly, in performing the acts of devotional service, knowing what they are, learning from the proper source, associating with devotees, doing all the things that Lord Chaitanya's followers, such as Rupa Goswami especially, and Sanatana and others, gave us in their books. This whole movement is built on that. It's a science. It's a science of how to transform our consciousness from a selfish, self-aggrandizing, materialistic, that simply brings suffering. Simply, we'll leave this body, we'll have so many unfulfilled desires, performing so many wrong acts, and we'll have to come back again, as we have for millions and millions of times. But this is the way out. Not only the human life, we're very fortunate to have the human life, but to be in association of devotees, to celebrate the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. What a great fortune for every single one of you, you see. But take the cash in the lottery ticket. You know, we're not only human beings, which is extremely rare, but we're human beings who are interested in various degrees in pure bhakti. Some of us practicing sincerely and hope to practice sincerely, regularly, and some try to enter into that house of bhakti. But these holidays are wonderful times in which we can get inspired to take the next step. All of us need to take the next step to become more serious, whatever we are. So Srimati Radharani is very merciful, and she can give us the inspiration and the mercy and the spiritual strength by which we can advance in devotional service. So I'm going to do a couple. I put together a couple of slideshows. One of them is an 8-verse poem that's from the Govinda Lilamrita, which is a very advanced book, but it's in the songbook. We have it in the database. And it is a prayer to Srimati Radharani for service to her lotus feet. It's sung by a female parrot in Vrindavan. There's also one by the male parrot, who's glorifying Krishna. They have an argument who's chanting who. And the other one is a verse that I'd like to thank Bhadri Narayan Swami for reminding me about. I think I once gave it to him years ago. I completely forgot about it. It's from the Vilap Kusumanjali by Raghunath Das Goswami. And it's simply a prayer that Srimati Radharani lets us, by her mercy, takes us to the shelter of her lotus feet. And that's also here. And then there's a special ashtaka, not ashtaka, a little poem, a Sanskrit poem by Rupa Goswami, 10 names of Radharani. 10 names of Radharani in 2 little verses, which we're all going to chant together. You can just follow along. And the benefits are incredible. You get free of all suffering, you're showered with good fortune, and you very quickly get the mercy of Radha and Madhava. And there's no restrictions. It doesn't say you have to be a pure devotee, you don't have to be in Vrindavan. It says anyone who chants this very, very esoteric and secret verse. So we'll hopefully be able to do that. So I'm sorry, somehow in decorating and so forth, there was some delay, so we're kind of running short of time. And I'd like to proceed to the slideshow, and then we can have the Abhishek and more kirtan and prasadam like that, if that's okay with everybody. Okay, Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so... now, I didn't really get a chance to create a little band, but we have a drum. I guess I'll need the mic. Let's see. And Hare Krishna. Where's my friend Braj Mohan, or maybe Guru Krishna? Can you play the drum? It's simple little beat for the ashtaka. Actually, we can start with the other one that doesn't require a band. And let's see. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so let's see. Familiar face? Okay. It's got a mind of its own. Why is that doing that? Uh-oh. It's on some kind of auto thing. How's that doing working? This has never happened before. Okay. Let's see if I can do what it's supposed to do. All right. Now what I wanted to do... Oh boy. Now I don't know what we can do. Oh, I know what I can do. Maybe put it on pause. Oh, I know what I did. I hit that. I'm sorry, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. It's got a mind of its own. Anyone got any ideas? Help. Help. Huh? Anyone know? How to stop it? Oh boy, forget that. Well, let's try the other one. Okay. All right, let's do this one. Okay. All right, that's about as good as we're going to get it. Can we get the lights? And who's the drummer? At least cartel players? All right, so I'll tell you what. We'll just start singing. And we can all come in on the last line. That's the refrain line. Her gold complexion steals the pride of gold, and lotus tinged with red. Her fragrance mocks the scent of lotus bloom with saffron powder spread. Her skill in satisfying Sri Hari is perfect and complete. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Her wondrous silken garments shame the splendor rubies can display. She is a blooming garden where the bee of Krishna loves to play. Her worships Surya every day, so she and Madhava can meet. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Eclipsed by Radha's tenderness, the fame of budding blossoms dims. The moon a lotus sandal paste, and camphor serve her cooling limbs. Krishna burns with love's desires, her soothing touch dispels the heat. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Though youthful goddesses adore youthful goddesses adored by all adore the goddess Shri. She lacks Radha's beauty, youth, and every other quality. So when it comes to lovers' sports, no one can compete. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Within the rasa dance, her joking and her singing are the best. She shines with countless traits divine, like love and gorgeous form and dress. Among the famous gopis of Vrindavan, she's supremely sweet. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Eternal pastimes. Okay. Eternal pastime, beauty, youth, and love for Krishna make her rich. The loving gopis tremble just to see that love at highest pitch. Their meditation on Sri Krishna's form and pastimes is complete. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. perspiring, trembling hairs on end, and crying, faltering of the voice, impatience, joy, and guile, these signs of rapture make her friends rejoice. For Krishna's eyes, these many gem-like ecstasies, provide a treat. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Apart from Krishna for a moment, Radha feels anxiety and restlessness and other moods, the highest kind of ecstasy. But when she meets him with some effort, all her sufferings retreat. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. May Radhika bestow on me the service of her lotus feet. Exalted goddesses like Parvati can rarely ever... Exalted goddesses like Parvati can hardly ever see Shri Krishna's lover Radhika. But if a humble devotee recites these verses, then Shri Radha, who enjoys with Shri Hari, will pour the nectar of her service down on him eternally. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. I'm so sorry. There's some kind of a... Radharani didn't want us to do this. All right, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to try one more time to do this right without pressing the wrong button, because it's only 4 slides. No, not that one. That one. This one? No. That one. Now, if I do this right, okay, and not press anything, now it's, Hare Krishna. All right. Devi dukkha kula sagaro dhared nuyamana mati durgatam janam tam kripapa balanau kriyabatam prapaya sapada pankajalayam. O Srimati Radharani, Queen of Braj, please rescue this unfortunate person drowning in an ocean of pain. Place him on the strong boat of your mercy and carry him to the wonderful realm of your lotus feet. Okay. Now, this is going to be hard, because we have to try to get this. I'll say, you say. Radha Damodara Preshta. Radhika Varshabhanavi. Samasta Ballavi Vrinda. Dhammilotang Samallika. I'm going to read the translation myself. The foremost of Krishna's beloveds, this is, I'm sorry. Number 1, these are 10 names. Radha, 2, she who is dear to Lord Damodar, his greatest worshipper, the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, she who is the crowning garland of all of Malika flowers on the decorated braided hair of all the gopis. Okay? Then the next verse. Sorry about this. Krishna Priyavali Mukya. Gandharva Lalita Sakhi. Vishaka Sakya Sukini. Haririd bring a manjari. Okay, the last 5. The foremost of Krishna's beloved. 7, an expert singer and musician. Lalita's friend, she who is delighted by the friendship of Vishaka. And 10, the flower blossom that attracts the black bee of Lord Hari's heart. Okay, so we're going to skip the Sanskrit here, and I'll just read to you the benefits. Sorry about that. One who recites this confidential prayer, which bears the name Ananda Chandrika, the moonlight of bliss, and which is beautiful with 10 names of Srimati Radharani, the Queen of Vrindavan, becomes free of all troubles and decorated with great good fortune. That person quickly becomes the object of Shri Shri Radhamadava's mercy. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you for joining me. Now we'll have the Abhishek, Kirtan, and Prasad. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.